So the only reason why Eedris Abdukareem cannot say that he paved way for a lot of the youngsters these days is because he's still alive, right? That's the truth. Because if the man was dead, we would have been writing eulogies and inspirational stories of how he recreated a genre, how he did something, how he did that, how he did that. But because the man is alive and doesn't have rights to say that, of course, the society that we live in has a lot of good things to say about you, but they are going to wait till you die. And that's how people are even honoring late Mohbad, who was just a beneficiary of several hard work and sacrifices, other than someone like Eedris Abdukareem that actually gave it all. Unfortunately, that is where we are. And of course, this is where we begin to learn how to put. That's why when you notice people begin to ignore legacies and pursue wealth no matter the consequence, this is the reason. In other societies, legacies are the main stake. People go for legacy. They want to contribute to a project, contribute to a system, contribute to a structure, contribute to an industry or a sector in a way that in years to come, their name will be called when that industry is mentioned. But of course, in our society these days, it is no longer a point of reference. It's unfortunate. While I do not want to even get involved in the conversation of what happened in the flight between Eedris and, of course, 50 Cent, that is not the point. Peter, Paul, P-Square, Tony Tetwila, Tony Wanwick, Charlie Boy, Casey, all of them have their right of reply and they can go ahead and reply and bash themselves. They are all in the same cadre. But you see, I'm surprised that young artists like Odumodublvck, even Ice Prince and Odumodublvck, are in the social space criticizing, bashing, and knocking off Eedris Abdukareem. My friends wait for sure. Whether or not that Eedris had said anything wrong or right, I think there should be some level of caution. I personally, I was also disappointed in Eedris a couple of months ago, a few years ago, for the Edo Guba elections, the last one that Obaseki had after he jumped to the PDP, and of course fighting against Osagizeyamu for who should, whether he wants to retain his seat as governor of Edo State. It was surprising to see Eedris Abdukareem, as we were told, hired by the APC then. Of course, the name of Captain Rosa, blessed memory, was mentioned heavily in that particular situation. And then Eedris did a diss song for Obaseki, and then went on to say Edo people should vote Zeyamu and the APC. I was disappointed. It's not because he doesn't have a right to his political opinion, but I felt he shouldn't have joined in that quagmire, because at that time, it was almost not possible for any Edola not to have seen the need to have supported Obaseki against the APC at that time, let alone even now. So that being said, there are several other situations where I felt Eedris should have been a lot more careful and all that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that will take away the fact that he contributed to the music industry as we have it today. That's a fact. Eedris' song Jaga Jaga is by far the biggest social critic ever, one of the biggest songs ever in the if we talk about songs that promoted national consciousness and spoke true to power. Jaga Jaga, apart from maybe African China and a few other artists, I'm not sure we've had those artists, especially these ones these days, that are more concerned about crowds and money and all that. Again, as we call it right now, as I just said it, if we do not honor people like Eedris Abdukareem, Two-Face, Rugged Man, a couple of these guys that dug down to ensuring that we have what we have today, how would you expect the newbies to look at it as something that... So most of them they stay aloof these days. They don't care about national discussions. Of course, they've got the money, they've got visas and passports. Some of them even have privileged citizenship of other country, and whatever happens here, they fly. But someone like Eedris should not be disrespected. And I say this with all sincerity. Odumodublvck, for example, could confidently do a video to dish this Eedris and curse him to that point. I was disappointed. Of course, Ice Prince. I thought Ice Prince should be knowledgeable enough to have known that there are certain things that he couldn't have said. This is not to say we are discussing craft or art or mastery. No, we are discussing, did Eedris contribute? Yes, he did. You have to be a liar or an ignorant one for that matter to not think in the same direction. You may have your problems with Eedris. Eedris may have lied in one or two instances of the story he gave, but not Ice Prince and Odumodublvck. It's just like in a couple of years' time, 20 years' time, somebody come and say Odumodu's influence in the music industry as should be written off. Nobody will take that. As little, with all due respect, as what Azados did those days. There was a time in this country where you go to events and parties, all you hear are foreign songs. Nelly, Kelly, P. Diddy, Ashanti, J-Lo, Celine Dion, Westlife, Marc Anthony, Backstreet Boys, several of them all over, everywhere. That's the song Ja Rule. You hear their songs everywhere. 50 Cent, Missy Elliott, big time. It took several effort of Nigerian artists to own in this space. That artists now started to come. The first time we heard of a collaboration of a Nigerian artist to a US art, it was a big deal. In fact, people said that because it wasn't so common, there was a song that Two-Face and R. Kelly did that only had audio, no video. Till today, nobody could have attended because the song went viral because it wasn't a thing. So I'm just saying all that. There was a time that there was an era like that, but there's now a new era where you can stay 72 hours non-stop and listen to Nigerian songs in midst of different genres, and you will never ever have a dull moment. People contributed, whether they are small, whether they are big, they contributed. You cannot be comfortable enough to hear people diss these people and you say it doesn't matter. It does matter because we are killing the legacy vision. People will no longer want to impute or push or support or put effort into legacy. It will not be an era where people just want to eat, suck, dry, and leave. No, we will not allow that. We will not allow that. Talking about Eedris Abdukareem, it's like a lot of times we ignore. Man, that guy was so big that the president responded to his song. His song was banned, and they literally wanted to follow people to their phones to deleting that song as at that time. That was who he was. Huge. Before social media, before TikTok, before anybody began to do promotion, the song was everywhere. Hugely. He did a part, and then I don't even know how to say this thing, but it looks like we'll forget so easily. Eedris had an Olympic touch. He received an Olympic touch in this country. Was so huge a figure. The people you call your faves now, they cannot even hold the country from the length and breadth. They just hold a segment of persons scattered all over a couple of places. There were times where people like Two-Face had the whole country gripped under their singing mastery, and then you wake up and say it doesn't matter. I saw a poll one time and they were discussing Two-Face and Whiskey. That was like, excuse me. Oh, Two-Face and Burna even. Say Burna, because can we call Two-Face legend because Burna did he get Grammy? Excuse me. The input of Two-Face to the point that his song got featured in an Hollywood film. That is paid. I don't know whether it's English that's not a problem. Especially for Odumodublvck that said Eedris do not pay with, you can say inspire. What is pay with? Does pay with mean that he gave you money? If somebody contributed, no matter how small, whether it is in production, whether it is mass, whether it is marketing, whether it is singing, whether it is featuring, whether it is collaboration, whatever you do in that industry, that was superb, that was spectacular, that took it to another level, that got it a new review, a new attention. You have paved way. It is what those guys did that you are enjoying now. Take it like that. Don't deceive yourself. Don't use English to confuse yourself and say it's inspiration. You don't have to sing the same genre as the person. You don't have to sing alike. You don't have to like the person's music. But it did contribute. I just called Azados. They were served as Sky B. These guys had their time. 21 weeks. What they did at that time was spectacular. And of course, we must honor and respect them. It's unfortunate we live in a society where people do not care about what you have done before. They want to know what's coming. Some people can even say, prime this. There's not like prime this. He has done his own, even if he still continues to sing. Thank God for a couple of them that are still singing. It may not be very easy for all of them to do, but then they have contributed their own. Respect them. I'm not a big Eedris fan, but I will not sit here and say Eedris has done nothing. Eedris, of course, someone like Eedris was rapping at some point, was rapping and everybody was at the time. Man, Rugged Man came and cleaned up the rap industry. And that was what led to new rap styles we hear. And the MI came and took it to another level. So you tell me that Rugged Man did not do anything, MI did not do anything. No, you can't say that. You're just ignorant or maybe an hypocrite. That's the way. Respect to all of you, but then let's give honor to whom honor is due. No go do anything. That's my time again. I'll end with this. The reason why Eedris has to say it and we are bashing him is because he's still alive. Really, Eedris drops his pen and goes off and goes to rest. You begin to see all artists writing eulogies and praises and encomiums, and everybody telling their own stories of how Eedris did this and did that, how they sat somewhere and wanted to be like Eedris, how the first DM to Eedris, all that. But right now, Eedris is a bloody nobody. Abi, pull off and I'll go sleep. I'm out of here.